Okay, chapter 6.2, actually chapter 6 is mostly about substitution elimination. We are doing this because when we start the second semester, we will be starting with substitution, or chapter 6, but we will not be going as slowly through substitution and elimination. We'll actually be learning this in 1 day or 2 days maybe. Actually, about a day and pretty much we're going to have a week to get back our substitution and elimination stuff. But this day right here, this week right here, is giving you some time to kind of get substitution under control, because it isn't a tough process as long as you actually take time to learn it, as long as you take it seriously enough to practice it, and as long as you actually ask questions in the beginning, not in the end. Again, what I always get is people who don't say a word until it's almost test time, then they say they don't understand anything, and it's because you didn't build up. So also, I am putting all lessons, I can't spell, ALLLESSONS. All your lessons are going up now, but I need you to work in order if you're going to try to get ahead, and I'll explain why. So it'll be, hold on, 6.2a, 6.2b, 6.2c, quiz, 6.3a, 6.3b, 6.3c, test. So these would be your next 2 weeks. Again, 3 lessons: 6.2a, b, and c, followed by a quiz. I think it's a, b, and c. It is. And then I believe it's a, b, and c. But anyway, I'm putting all this up. I'm putting the quiz up, and I'm pretty much putting the quiz up with a password. You just need to email me if you're taking it early, or I'll just remove it on Friday. But again, if you are, the reason I'm doing this is because this has to be done on the 11th, which is next week. And I know that some of you have other things that you need to get done to try to fix your grade, and so I felt like if you can actually work ahead and get most of this done this week, which again, I know it takes ambition, but if you're that far behind, at least you're getting the opportunity. But if you have the ambition to get through this in 1 week, then that gives you next week to go back and try to retake your tests, retake your quizzes, and try to make sure that you benefit from that boost that I'm going to give. Because again, I know I said you have to have grades in all your tests and quizzes, but if your grades are 20s, I'm not going to give you that boost, because again, 20s and 10s and 15s, that's just like, I guess they say you could kind of send a pig in to take a test and they eventually could get 15% right out of any test just by kind of guessing. But anyway, understand that I'm putting this up now, and you don't have to do all of this right now. This is week 1, or this week, and this is week 2, which would be next week. But again, if you are trying to get ahead, if you're trying to catch up, my best advice is to take care of this stuff first and then go back. So I'm putting all this up. So if you are trying to catch up and fix your grade, that you can get this done, and email me for those passwords, and I'll give them to you ahead of time if that's what you need. But again, get those done, and then you can relax. Or if you just want to get this over with because you know you're going to be done, and you'd rather be done with math for the semester because you know that you passed the first quarter, you know you're going to pass the second quarter, and you just want this out of the way so you can focus on something else, use it for that as well. But again, I am giving you that option. You do not have to do this early, but I'm giving you that option to do this early if you'd like to. But anyways, this chapter has 2 major processes, substitution and elimination. Because these processes are so important, we need to just get right into them. Again, the portion of learning is going to focus on the foundational skills of substitution. This is where your questions should be coming from. If you have questions, don't wait until right before you take the test to say, hey, I don't get this stuff. Email me as soon as you bump into it, because this is not hard. It's just going to take it into a high school level. So we've seen the problem where it says evaluate 5x plus 2 and x equals 11. And here's what I know. If x is equal to 11, it means that I can put an 11 everywhere I see an x. And so what we learned to do was take this x and turn it into 11. And then we worked it out. That'll be 55 plus 2, which is 57, and then we moved on. Again, that statement x equals 11 means that it was legal to substitute x for any 11. These two have the same value, which means if I saw x equaled 15, I could put a 15 where x is. I could actually even put a x where 11 is, or whatever it means. But again, I can switch and swap those two because they are of equal value. All right. So look at another example real fast. If I saw 2y plus 3 when y equals negative 4, again, the key idea is that y has the same value as negative 4. So what I can do is I can take my y and turn this into a negative 4. That makes negative 8 plus 3, which is negative 5, and then you go from there. All right. Again, the statement y equals negative 4 tells us that it is legal to substitute negative 4 for y on any portion of the problem. If you do not understand that, you might want to email me and say, I don't understand it, although this is something that you did in chapter 1, maybe 2, but you know how to do this. We've done this. We take this number, we plug it in for that variable, we solve it. All right. So today what we're going to do is move beyond that first level. That's pretty much like an introductory level question, and it's getting you ready for a higher level of work. So again, be sure to take good notes. Be sure to, it says raise your hand to ask questions. That's when they were in class. But be sure to email me again as soon as there's any issues so I can kind of have a quick discussion with you. And that I've had people who email me and say, could I meet them in a Zoom? And I say no, because I stay there for you to stay afterwards. I ask if you have questions. So what you want to do is, in the Zoom meeting, if you need a better explanation, just wait until after everybody's gone, and or say, hey, I'm going to wait till everybody's gone, I'm going to ask you some questions, or whatever it might be. But I do allow you to do that during the hour. I'm not going to meet you during the time of my life, because, not the time of my life, but during my day, because I open myself up to you other times, and I'm always available during email. But anyway, use this idea that we just had, which was, I'm going to keep this handy. We saw x equal 11, so we put 11 in for x. The only thing that happens now is it says y equals 3x minus 2 to substitute for this. And this is all you're going to do. So y now has the same value as everything over here. Not just 3x, not just 2. Y equals 3x minus 2. And so that means that I can put 3x minus 2 in for y. Let me say that again. If y has the same value as 3x minus 2, then I can put 3x minus 2 right here, because that is y. I can't put it here, I can't put it anywhere else, I have to put it in for y. And here is where you have to make sure you practice it. You have to type everything in front of what I call the box. So 4x plus 3, because that's what's there. We then turn our y into 3x minus 2. In parentheses, we then put everything after the box, which is equals 11. That's it. Alright, let me see. I think I do stop there. So just stop right there, because again, as long as you get that, you should be good. Use the equation y equals 5x plus 9 to substitute into this. Again, it says y equals 5x plus 9, which means I can put 5x plus 9. It is legal for me to put this wherever I see a y. And so I will come down to my y, and I will write everything in front of the box, which is 2x minus 4. I will then turn my y into 5x plus 9. I will then write everything behind the box, which is equals 7. That is the first step. Some of you right now are saying, hey, I know how to do that. We did that in, again, chapter 1, where we distributed and simplified. Yes, that's why we did it, because we build up on skills. But again, in order to get the skills all together, you've got to make sure that you fix the issues that you have early. Otherwise, it comes back to haunt you. Here it says use the equation x equals 6x plus 1 to substitute into 3x plus 7y equals 2. I am not going to put a box here because this has a x in it, so I want to make sure I switch for x, and that's all you have to be careful on. In front of that box is just a 3. Then x turns into 6x plus 1, and then you write everything behind the box, which is plus 7y equals 2. Alright, so again, hold on. That's supposed to be 6y plus 1, and so that should be 6y plus 1. The thing is, the reason substitution works is because notice how this has an x and a y in it. We can't solve it if there has an x and a y, so what we do when we substitute is we create an equation that in this case has only x's in it, which means we could solve this. In this case also has only x's in it, so we can solve it. In this case has only y's in it, so we can solve it. So I knew I was wrong because I had an x and a y still, and I know that as long as I have an x and a y together, there is no way that I can get that job done. So, but other than that, that is the first part of what we're talking about. Actually, I've got one more. You can tell I made this last year, but it works. It's a good lesson. Use the equation x equals 9x minus 4 should again be 9y minus 4 to substitute in the equation. Here again, if x equals this, then I should be putting it here. In front of the box is an 8. X then swaps out for 9y minus 4. I then copy everything behind the box, which is minus 5y equals 1. Alright. The problem will not look like this when we get into the actual work. Because of this, we will also see problems that are set up more realistically. So just relax and utilize the steps that we used earlier. So all I want you to do is substitute for the appropriate variable. Alright. That's all we're going to be doing. Hold on. So here we go. We are actually, let me pause this to make sure I'm stopping at the right spot. Okay, I am right. I realized that your first assignment has A and B together because I was like, at this pace, we're not ever going to get through this. But this video here is just working on the substitution, and then next video we take it a step further. The next video we finish it out. So anyway, substitute for the appropriate variable. Notice how this is set up. We have a x equals 3y plus 7. We have 6x plus 9y equals 10. We call this a system of equations because there's two equations on top of each other. So what we do is we look for the one that has a variable by itself, which is here. It says that x equals 3y minus 7. That means that I am going to substitute into here. It is the same as this. It's just not stacked the same. It still had two equations. We still picked the one that was here. We substitute into the other one. Same thing here. It's just not telling you use this to substitute in for that. You just have to recognize that you can substitute for that x. So again, what you will do is 6 parentheses 3y minus 7 plus 9y equals 10. Alright, so again, that's the key idea of what you're getting into there. Actually, I think it's because it's just one video. Substitute for the appropriate variable again. Y, 2x plus 1. That means that I'm going to take and put this here. So I do 6x minus 5 parentheses 2x plus 1 equals 3. Alright. And I am going to stop there because I don't want to force you to watch the second one at the same time. But as long as you understand this, again, make sure you took good notes. Make sure you understand what's going on. Now, this did not go anywhere. But that is the reason why I do Chapter 6 in the first semester as an intro. Because if you had to learn all this together in a day and a half next semester, it would be really intimidating. So what I'm doing is I'm giving you time to kind of get this down and make sure you've got understood. Again, there is no homework assignment for this yet, so you'll need to watch the second video before you get to your homework assignment because this doesn't really show you everything you need. But it did show you exactly the foundation of what's going on, which is find the variable or find the equation with the variable by itself, substitute for that variable. Find the equation with the variable by itself, substitute for that variable, and finish off. So make sure you answer the last question at the end of this video and get your credit for it. And other than that, again, you will need to watch the second video, which is 6.2b, in order to do your first homework assignment. But other than that, have a good day and talk to you later. Good luck.